Hello, podcast listeners. We know podcasts are a great way to catch up on a program that you may have missed on KSJE, and it's provided as a free service of this radio station. But you know, KSJE is now listener-supported, and so while you enjoy this podcast, we hope that you'll also take some time to join KSJE. Become a member today. It's quite easy to do. Just go to our website at ksje.com/support and pick the level of support that best matches your budget. Thanks again for listening. Here's your podcast. 12 minutes past 8 o'clock. It is Monday morning, the 10th day of March, 2025. Good morning, everybody. I'm Scot Michlin. Thanks for tuning in to KSJE 90.9 FM over the air here in San Juan County, New Mexico. In Durango, Colorado, we're broadcasting today at 103.3 FM. And if you're listening to my voice anywhere else on the planet, you've gone to our website to do that, streaming all the time from ksje.com. I also want to welcome our viewers this morning who are watching this program. The video is streaming out live to the KSJE Facebook page and also to our YouTube channel. So welcome aboard, everyone. I'm so glad that you are with us because this morning our topic is Sexual Assault Services of Northwest New Mexico. Lots of important things that they do for our communities and a big event coming up as well. So we'll talk about that in the next few moments right here on KSJE. Then later on this hour, as we do on Mondays, we talk technology. It's our Monday Reboot segment coming up today, 8:50 a.m. on KSJE. And that sets up our weekday classical music program at 9:06 this morning, Roving with the Arts with Mick Hess. Some great classical music coming your way next hour right here on KSJE. We also invite you to connect with us on X and Instagram in addition to Facebook and YouTube. And if you're a podcast person, you can find and subscribe for free to KSJE podcasts. They're available where you're already listening to podcasts probably. So check it out and discover a new local program that you may have missed recently. Outside our studios here at San Juan College, it is a mostly sunny morning this morning, temperature 31 degrees. We are expecting sunshine today. Overnight low tonight about 32 with some clear skies, and then mostly sunny skies again tomorrow with a high of 63 degrees on Tuesday. I'll be back with my guests from SAS right after this on KSJE. KSJE is supported by San Juan Regional Medical Center. The most important ingredients to sustaining health and wellness are the resources and tools that help you live a vibrant and healthy life. At San Juan Regional Medical Center, the goal is to promote health by making sure those resources are available. Find the path to the best life at lifebetterhere.com. San Juan Regional Medical Center. Better is our mission, improving lives through personalized health and care.
Ahead, turn right.
Isn't it nice to have a little help getting where you're going?
Your destination is ahead and 300 feet.
When navigating life's challenges, the San Juan County Navigation Center can help you with navigating housing, navigating transportation, navigating medical providers, and more. Learn more online at sjcnavigate.net or call 505-636-7110. The Navigation Center, connecting to resources, empowering lives.
You have arrived at your destination.
And back in Studio A this morning with my guests, as I mentioned, from Sexual Assault Services of Northwest New Mexico. Joining me here in Studio A this morning, Executive Director Eleana Butler is here this morning. Welcome back to KSJE. It's always great to have you here.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
You bet. Great to see you. Also joining us here in the studio, the Associate Director, Lacey Guinn is here. Lacey, good morning to you.
Good morning. Thank you.
Thank you for coming in as well. And also joining us here is the Prevention and Prevention Education Coordinator, Melodi Allison. And Melodi, good morning to you. Great to see you.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you all for coming in. Great to have you here. And Eleana, let me start with you as we do because we are right here getting ready for April, which is an important month for your organization and many others. It is Sexual Assault Awareness Month throughout the world, and that is something that we all want to keep in mind. And you have some special events coming up that we'll talk about, and also just some of the other programs that SAS does day in, day out here in the community. But April's important.
April is important. Thank you for having us on a little earlier this year than we have in the past.
Right.
Yeah. So April's Sexual Assault Awareness Month. This will be SAS's 21st, SAM, we call it Sexual Assault Awareness Month.
Right.
This is our 21st year of being in service to this community. On April 5th is our 13th annual Sassy Tortoise and Hare Run that we now host downtown. There's the logo. Thank you.
Right, there it is.
Yeah, we host downtown at Lock Street Eats. They've been generous last year and this year to partner with us, so we have a really cool location to stage the run from.
Right. And signups are already open, I think, online, right?
Absolutely, yes. Folks can go to runningguru.com, Guru, runningguru.com. They just have to type in the word Sassy, Sassy, and the run will come up to register for.
Got you. And it's a 10K and a 5K run walk. There's also a slower event, too, for those of us who aren't so running inclined.
The tortoise route, that's
yes,
right.
Yeah,
Except
that would be me.
We always have to remember the tortoise won, so.
That's true. Good point. That's right.
Yeah.
But lots of choices, but a great way to support the organization and all the great things that you do, which we'll be talking about here this morning as well. And
Yes.
so in your 21st year, the organization has grown quite a bit, I would say, from its humble beginnings.
That is true. Last year, when we were talking about our 20th anniversary, which was kind of crazy,
Right.
I told a lot of stories about the beginnings of the organization, and the thing that I remember the most is sort of walking into our office at the time, which was housed at Family Crisis Center. They were our fiscal agent because we weren't an organization at that time.
Yeah.
Without a pencil, let alone a computer or a hotline number for survivors to call. So yes, in these 21 years, we have grown tremendously. We have over 20 employees. We have 2 offices. One office is in Gallup and the other here in Farmington. And the really cool thing that Lacey will talk about a little bit about related to our SANE program is we're developing a community-based SANE program in Gallup. So
Nice.
that's our next big growth phase.
Okay, very good. Well, that's a great transition, I think, too, Lacey, to talk a little bit about this program and some of the others, and the same program that has been ongoing here in Farmington and San Juan County for quite a while. But talk to me a bit about the plans for the McKinley County area.
Yeah, definitely. It has been a huge task to do, but so exciting for our community because we really need it. Right now, we're providing SANE services in Farmington, which are the forensic medical exams that survivors can get to make sure that their bodies are taken care of, that they get the medication that they need, and that they get the support
Right.
from our advocacy services, the nurse. They can tap into therapy, which Eleana will talk about later if needed. And we've had this wonderful program in Farmington for so long, and it has been apparent that Gallup needed those services as well. So we're working really hard with RMCH and
That's the
IHS
hospital, the
in
community
Gallup.
hospital, in
Yeah,
the 2
Gallup,
hospitals in Gallup, yeah.
to make sure that we can find a space to provide these services, so they don't have to go wait in a waiting room forever, and they can go to a safe, secluded space with people who are there to support them and get the exam that they need.
Right.
So we're really excited about that.
And so there hasn't been something offered like this in the McKinley County area outside of the hospital setting, I guess, until now? Is that the understanding?
There has
Or it comes and
been
goes?
on and off,
I
but
see.
it's never been consistent. So survivors have never been able to go, I know where I need to go, and that someone will always be there to support me. Whereas like in Farmington, they know that.
Right.
We're here, we've always been here, and we will continue to be here. And that's what we hope to do in Gallup, is make sure that there's a place that they know they can go and always receive services in a timely manner.
Got you. And certainly, again, these services are always free to survivors, and there's never a charge, and it's always their choice to take advantage of these services in either community, and that will continue.
Yes, exactly. It's 100, everything we offer is 100% free, and the survivor gets to choose what services they want and what services they don't want at any time.
Right.
It's all up to them. Yeah.
Gotcha. Very good. Thank you.
Yeah.
And congratulations, because that's seems to be a pretty important expansion, I guess, in the McKinley County area. Eleana, is that true?
It really is. Lacey mentioned that the IHS hospital there, Gallup Indian Medical Center, off and on for about 10 years or so, has been offering SANE services, but again, not consistently, and still survivors often had to wait a significant amount of time to receive the service. So if they couldn't get it there, then they were traveling.
Right.
Which is the whole point of having a local provider that's there 24/7 to be able to provide it.
And just like here, I would imagine that folks who are coming into town for those services may not live in the greater Gallup area. They're still traveling quite a distance, maybe, to come and get, say, an exam or something else. Is that what you find in that community too?
Yes, that's a perfect point. Yes, we find that people do travel because Gallup and Farmington, we are the shopping places or the service communities where people come in from the rural parts of our counties, and in the Gallup area, even over from the Arizona side of the reservation.
Sure.
So yes, if they're already traveling, we don't want them traveling any further. It's why we also provide SANE exams in Shiprock. Our nurse and advocates travel to Shiprock if someone wants to receive their exam there, because again, often they've traveled in from somewhere else.
Right. And so they'll meet them in the Shiprock area then.
Yes.
That's how it works. Great.
And I'd also just like to quickly point out we do provide gas cards for people if they are having trouble getting to us. We know that can be the challenge, and then getting home.
Okay.
So we really work hard to do the best we can to support folks with gas cards, food cards, hotel stays, whatever that means for them to come and receive those services.
Right, which is amazing, and something, again, that maybe most folks wouldn't think about, that is a deterrent or a block to folks maybe coming in to get those services, because it seems like you just need it no matter what. And so that's great. That makes that less part of the equation, I guess. It's not really a deterrent, which is wonderful. So thank you for including that. That's great. And Melodi Allison, I'm coming to you because I want to hear a little bit about some of the work that you do with outreach and some of the programs with schools, correct? That's part of your job as the prevention education coordinator. And so talk to me a little bit about that. You get good cooperation from local schools?
Oh, yeah. We partner with Farmington schools, Aztec schools. We do a little bit of work in Central Consolidated schools. We also do prevention in the rural communities as well.
Uh-huh.
We have several programs that we use. We're at the high school, and we use a program called Ask, Listen, Respect. And we're really talking to the kids about the importance of asking for consent. Then we go down into the middle schools, and we do that as well. We have a program for 8th graders. It's called Safe Dates. And then we work with the 6th and 7th graders. It's called Healthy Friendships. We can even work with children as young as pre-K through 2nd grade, and teaching those children about consent, about body autonomy. And we love being in the schools and making these partnerships, and we always want to expand. I think our educators are like, okay, where are we at next?
Right.
During the school year, we are very busy.
I would think so.
We also provide some short, it's called a SAS 101, where we go and we talk about our services, and we kind of tailor those to the group we'll be speaking with.
Right, that makes sense. Because certainly not the same message is important, or I guess important to hear from every age group, right? You have to be knowledgeable about that and maybe change the topic, the content for the kids that you're talking to.
Yeah, all the content is age appropriate. It's also made in a way that they will understand it. It's in their language, and we're always looking for feedback from the students, because it's tailored for them, so their feedback makes sense, and we make changes when we need to.
Right. And is this messaging and these programs coming from other places where it's been used in schools and things like that, or is it something that you've come up with on your own, or what do you use a mix?
Well, we use a mix.
Okay.
Ask, Listen, Respect is a program that was adopted from Dating Matters. We've just made it where it's expanded on, and we're able to have conversations with the 9th graders and really expand on what their thoughts and beliefs are around the topics we're discussing.
Got you. And at that age, I would think, pardon me for interrupting you, but from that age, I would think it's important for boys and girls to understand the importance of consent, as you mentioned, and dating and things like that, and no means no, and those types of messages. Is that kind of the idea?
What we have done is we're really addressing teen dating violence and sexual assault. And we have done this in a way where we use Aaron's Law. So that's why we come into the schools and talk about this, is due to Aaron's Law. And I tell every student, this law is for you.
Explain what that is a little bit for folks who may not be familiar with Aaron's Law.
So Aaron's Law is a law that's New Mexico adopted in 2012, stating that every student in public education will receive teen dating violence and sexual assault awareness education. And that's pre-K through 12th grade.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, so we are, I really love the partnership that we have with our schools. They invite us in, they allow us to spend time with their students. You know, when parents have questions, we're always there for parents. Just call us, call me.
Right.
We'll answer all those questions.
You're available.
I am
Okay.
available.
And I guess for maybe homeschool children, private school children, would this also be available to them if a parent or school group wanted to invite you in?
Absolutely. One of the things that we did last year, we have the program we have for pre-K through second grade is Care for Kids. And we are teaching children body autonomy. And a private group wanted us to do this for their children, so we set it up there at the office, and it went great. We had a few children and their parents. We went through the program. It was a 5-day program. It's very interactive, and we did it right there at the office. So yeah,
Nice.
We're available to go out into the community.
Good to know. Very, very important. Very good. And this would be a free program, free service for
All of
these
our
parents and
services,
kids?
all of our services are 100% free and confidential.
Great. Very good. Thank you. Thank you for being here. I'll come back to you in just a moment. Eleana, I want to come back to you a little bit about just the cases in the area. And certainly, you and I have talked for a long time about the numbers of sexual assault cases and things like that, and certainly cases of dating violence, as we were talking about with Melodi as well. Can you tell us a little bit about where things stand these days? Are they plateauing? Are they increasing a little bit, decreasing a little bit? What is the situation are you noticing?
So interestingly, I get asked this pretty often. And
Well, by me at least once a year.
yeah, at
I
least
know
once a
that.
year.
Yes, ma'am.
Exactly.
I know.
We have noticed a decline in the request for SANE exams. When we used to talk for lots and lots of years, our average was about 120 SANE exams a year. And the last 2 years, we've been just under 90. And so that said, we also have a law enforcement officer on our board of directors. So we started doing some comparisons this year, and they've also noticed a decline in reports. So we might be able to infer that the work that we've been doing all these years and the awareness that's come in our country and in our community might be contributing to that decline.
Right.
I'm a little
Or-
reluctant to say that
Okay.
because you never know what's going to happen.
Sure.
But it is encouraging in that we haven't had as many exams in the last couple of years. That said, we have seen the number of people requesting therapy dramatically increase. When COVID occurred, when the
Yeah.
height of COVID happened, 2020 into 2021, our wait list for therapy services rose to 80 people on our waiting list. And we weren't the only organization in town that had a wait list, but it was pretty significant for us. That wait list is now down to around between 30 and 35 people at any given time. But we have a lot of people in therapy. And so I also attribute that to the country and this community talking about sexual assault even more. People are more comfortable coming forward. And so we see people seeking therapy many years after the assault or the abuse occurred, but they're now coming forward to seek help.
Sure.
So that's been interesting.
And that to me sounds like, even though it's an increase, seems like a positive thing, that we're talking about it more, that it's not being hushed and not talked about and ignored and things along that line. You and I have talked about that too. And so I think that's really important. And again, the empowerment that women and men know that they can call and go to sexual assault services and get an exam or talk to somebody or get therapy or get these services in our communities. And so that awareness, I think, is a very positive thing.
Absolutely. I think it's crucial. And the one thing I wanted to mention too about our therapy program is it's very hybrid. We were able to start providing telehealth services when COVID happened. So all of our, other than SANE, therapy was completely hybrid. And now clients still have a choice of whether they want to be seen in the office or if they want to be seen via the telehealth services that we provide. And that's also provided more accessibility for individuals. We just talked earlier about transportation in for SANE exams.
Right.
Same thing applies for therapy services. So if they don't have to travel and can receive the services in a safe, private place at home or in an office somewhere where we can do that.
Right. And the other thing I wanted to ask you about too, just to make sure we make a point of it this morning, is the confidentiality of your services, and that I know you take very seriously, all of your staff,
Yes.
and that's an important thing for folks to realize as well. Correct?
Absolutely. Our services are completely confidential. The only time that any kind of record would be released is upon the client's approval. More times than not, that's for the SANE exam. If an individual's come for the medical forensic exam and they've decided to make a police report and they want to try to move forward with the criminal justice system, then they sign a consent form saying that they agree for us to release their exam information, the report, to law enforcement, the district attorney's office, if it's going the criminal justice route of,
Right.
of a case.
But that's still their decision, right, to involve the criminal
Absolutely.
justice and the police department or law enforcement in this at all, correct?
Yes, actually, Lacey would be perfect to talk about.
Okay.
Put you on the spot here, to talk about this
How that
piece of
works?
it with
Yeah.
SANE. Yes, and my thought is around that we can collect evidence even without folks wanting to make a police report at the time.
Right. Lacey, over to you.
Yeah,
If you don't mind.
definitely. So the great thing about SANE and what we can offer is it's 100% in the hands of the survivor who is there in that moment. And
Those
what
decisions, right?
Yeah, those
Yeah.
decisions. And what's great is a lot of times, I mean, they don't know what do I do? What are my options? What is my next step? I don't know. And we have advocates there all the time to help guide them and support them, to help empower that survivor to make the right decision for them in that moment. And a lot of times what people don't realize is that you can make an unreported report and not let law enforcement know, and then later change your mind and say, you know what, I'm ready. I'm in the right space for me now. I've gotten therapy support. I've got all the ducks in a row for me to be safe, and I'm ready to move forward and report this case. And I think a lot of people forget that they have the right to not report until they are ready.
Right.
And that's the one great thing about our advocates is that they are we have such a wonderful advocacy team. They're so knowledgeable in all the aspects of SANE, what the survivor rights are. And so when they go to those SANE exams or talk to those clients on the phone, on the hotline, they're just the perfect person for those survivors to tap into and just give options. Like,
Right.
you don't have to do anything that you don't want to, but here's an idea if you're interested. And I'll be there with you the entire time that you do this. I can go with you to go talk to law enforcement if you like. I can go to court with you if that's something you want. A lot of times we even have like teenagers who aren't ready to share with their family or their parent what had happened to them. And our advocates are just phenomenal at bridging that conversation and being there to be supportive to the survivor and the family members who are struggling with this, to make sure that they feel empowered in every decision that they make.
Right. And some of that ongoing support, I guess, is so important, right? Because, and you mentioned one thing I wanted to just follow up
Yeah.
on, which is that non-report report. And the idea being that,
It's confusing.
but I think it's important though, because I think if someone doesn't make a report and then changes their mind, certainly that would be a lot more difficult for law enforcement to
Right.
do anything without a report that maybe has been kept secret for a while or confidential until they made that decision. So without that report, that's really an important, I guess, distinction is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, definitely. And so during a SANE exam, what happens is the nurse is taking a medical history and as well as like a history of events. So like, what brought you here today? And it's not an official police report in any way,
Sure.
but it allows a survivor to share with a medical provider what has happened. right?
Documentation.
Exactly, documentation. And for law enforcement, I think that that's helpful on those reports that are not reported, that go reported, because we have information from the start of that case that may have got lost, or, you know, when people are experiencing trauma, their brain does funky things, right? We know that. And so it allows for them to have that additional documentation, as well as the collection of evidence that they get off the body. And the one thing, though, is that if someone chose not to report their situation, we would not send any of that forensic evidence to the state lab.
Sure.
That stays with us in our office, locked away in a confidential space that my nurse and I know about, but we don't, that information does not go anywhere without the permission of that person. And the other piece that I think is just real important is, like Eleana said, our survivors sign consent in that exam, that they're consenting to the exam, the different pieces of it, and if they go unreported, they can consent to the exam but not consent to reporting. Or if they're reporting, they can consent to everything, but maybe they say, I don't want my kit to go anywhere, right? And so there's so many different options that
Levels,
survivors
right?
have.
Different levels and options. Got
Exactly. And whenever I go to release any information, whether it's to law enforcement or the district's attorney's office, it doesn't matter if it's been, months or a year, we're always calling that survivor just to be like, hey, just a heads up. This is going to this place. I want you to know. Do you have any reservations about it? That way they're always in the know. They always know what's going on.
It seems like that you take a lot of care to make sure that the survivor's in control of all of that data, all of that information about their situation, and each one is unique and different, certainly.
Yeah.
So that makes a lot of sense. Well,
I wanted
go
to
ahead.
add
Yeah.
to our advocates because we have such an incredible advocacy team that our prevention educators are also advocates as well. So when we're in the schools, many times we have a child disclose to us when we're on campus. So we'll connect that student with the resources and have even stayed with them until they feel safe.
Right.
So yeah, when we're in the schools, we're advocates as well.
Nice.
And those kids know that we're available to them on campus.
Oh, great. And again, it's important that everyone, I think, realizes that it's important to avail themselves of the services of SAS and the confidentiality of them as well. So I appreciate you adding that. So thank you very much. We just have a couple of minutes remaining this morning, everybody. Eleana, can I come back to you a little bit for a kind of final thought on SAS in your 21st year?
Of course.
That's amazing to
I
me.
know.
And again, congratulations, because a lot of hard work from a lot of people that have gotten you to this point, and the work continues, and the important work continues, which is amazing. And we're just here getting ready for April, which will bring more attention to the work that you all are doing.
Yes, thank you.
You bet. That was more of a speech than a question, but there's a question there somewhere.
Somewhere in there.
Yes.
Well, I'm really thrilled to have some of my team here today to kind of show the community our the diversity of what we do and have some more voices to explain our services. We're getting excited for April. We're also doing some partnering with San Juan College for their April Sexual Assault Awareness Month events that I think will be posted here as soon as it's all finalized.
Right. There's usually a lot of events going on here at the college for sure.
Yeah.
You've done that in the past too, I think, for a number of years, right? Partnering here
Yes.
with the college. So that's great.
Yes, sexual assault organizations partner regularly with universities and colleges, so we're really thrilled to have that here with San Juan College.
Very good. Wonderful. And a quick final plug for the Sassy Tortoise and Hare Run again, which is happening here on the 13th annual on April 5th. So it'll be here in just a few weeks.
Just a couple weeks, so
Right.
folks still have a chance to register. Actually, all the way up to the day of the run, people can show up. We strongly encourage people to go to runningguru.com, GURU, runningguru.com, and search for Sassy. That will, if you register before the 20th, I believe, we will guarantee your T-shirt size.
Okay.
After that, I can't guarantee it. You'll get some version of a size
You'll
of a
get a
T-shirt,
shirt.
but
Yep. Might be a bandana.
it
but
might be an extra
use it however
large.
you want.
Yeah. And I also wanted to just do a shout out to our sponsors.
Sure.
We have some really great sponsors who have worked with us for many, many years on the run. Marion Oil and Gas Foundation always sponsor us at the Sassy donor level. It's the $2,500 level. Basin Coordinated Health sponsors with us at the $1,500 level. We have Levitt Kaiser Insurance, KSJE, cannot forget, because you all sponsor us for advertising.
Happy to do it.
As well as Hutton Broadcasting also, so folks should be hearing in 3 different radio stations at least the run advertisements. And then Lock Street Eats too for hosting us. And we really would love for folks to come, not only do the run, but then hang out at Lock Street after and support their business. We are the first event that they do once they start opening back up in the spring. So
all those great food trucks and things like that at Lock Street. So a great place. And it's on April 5th. What time will folks start gathering for the run?
Well, the run itself starts at 10, but we've learned that people come super early. Runners are amazing. So we will be
amazing is a word. Okay.
We will be set up by 8:30 at Lock Street Eats for anyone who wants to just come early if they haven't picked up their packets. Oh, that's something I forgot. Once you register for the run, we do packet pickup at our office Friday, April 4th, all day. So folks can come and pick up their packets, get their bibs, their T-shirts. We have goodie bags that we have lots of great donations in. Or they can also do that on Saturday. So as long as they're there and ready to go by 9:45, I'd say at the latest, then they'll be ready for the 10 o'clock start.
Okay, very good. RunningGuru.com. Search for Sassy. That's how you get registered. You can run by yourself. I guess you get a team together, whatever you want to do.
Well, yes, I have teams set up in Running Guru now. And I'm so glad you said that because I almost forgot. We also have set up separate fundraising pages. People who are participating in the run, or if they're not participating in the run, they can start their own fundraising page. It looks a lot like our Sassy page on Running Guru.
So I can raise money for you by not running?
You can.
Is that what you're saying?
It's like
That's
your
amazing.
run that you all do.
Yeah,
you can. And I can get folks that link. But yes, so they can share it on their social media and have folks donate into their specific run for themselves and have a goal for what they'd like to raise in additional money that will come to SAS.
Wonderful. Very good. Well, thank you all very much for coming in this morning. I really appreciate your time and the work that you all do and more. I know this is part of your team, but thank you all for being here with the work that you do in the community. And congratulations to SAS for 21 years and many more. Thank you.
Thanks so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you all very much. My guest this morning here with me on KSJE. KSJE and the San Juan College Native American Center present the Student Study Tip of the Week.
Hi, this is Marianne, coming to you with the study tips of the week. Teach someone. Teaching a friend, family member, or even your pet the material is a great way to see how well you know it. When you explain it to someone else, you'll have a better grasp of which information you already have mastered and which information you should revisit for yourself. You can create a fun PowerPoint or Google Slides presentation, get creative, and present this information in a way that's easy for you and your audience to understand. Who knows, you might even use that presentation in the future for your classmates.
The Student Study Tip of the Week is presented by the San Juan College Native American Center and KSJE. Did you enjoy that podcast? We hope that you did. And if you did, share it with your friends. And if you really want to keep podcasts like this coming, please support KSJE. You can do it easily online at ksje.com.